is when we first launched the fund, there was some backlash that came with launching the fund, and I want to address and acknowledge that backlash right now. And here's what I have to say about that. I get it, and I completely understand. And I understand, money ain't falling out of the sky, and it's not growing on trees.
Every dollar that you send is going to go into an account that goes directly to the people. We wanted to honor and respect the culture. So no decision has been made, not the smallest decision or the largest decision, without conferring with the community leaders who have supported us in this effort. We said, is this what you want? They said, yes, this is what we want now. It doesn't mean that there aren't many things to happen later.
The Rock has finally addressed the scam accusations surrounding his and Oprah's SKETCHY Maui funds, but he somehow made the situation worse with his supposed apology video. Because the one thing he certainly did not do in that video was apologize. Fans are saying that The Rock pulling off a scam with Oprah and then pretending to apologize months later is insulting to the fans and the thousands of people displaced by the Maui fires. But what did The Rock really say in his video? Is he really not going to apologize for everything he and Oprah did? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Oprah Winfrey created the People's Fund of Maui to supposedly provide direct financial assistance to members of the Maui community after the terrible Maui fires that claimed the lives of 115 people and left over 1,000 more displaced. The Maui fires were so destructive that they had to be declared a national emergency, hundreds dead and missing, thousands left with no roof over their heads and businesses ruined. The wildfires were devastating. The People's Fund of Maui seemed like a noble idea until you start considering the fact that Oprah and The Rock are two extremely wealthy people with enough connections to raise millions without having to ask struggling people to donate their meager income. People were unhappy that someone as wealthy and influential as Oprah asked people to donate. One ex-user said, "Damn, I do not like politics, but this got under my skin. America is falling apart." Wealthy millionaires and billionaires asking the lower, upper middle class, a poor person would donate before a wealthy person. It's called greed. It's sad. I see it and live it. Now it's not that Oprah and The Rock did not make any contribution. At least on paper, they both allegedly pledged $10 million to the cause, but even their supposed contributions are not being used for what Oprah and The Rock claimed it would be used for. So shortly after they created the fund, rumors started flying around that it was all just a big scam for Oprah and The Rock to profit from a disaster that affected thousands of lives. Oprah and The Rock claimed that all the donations to the fund would go directly to the survivors of the wildfires, and that each applicant would receive $1,200 if they qualified. But that was less than the truth. With a little bit of digging, people discovered that most of the donations were going into the pockets of the fund organizers. One person said, the charity she claimed would put money directly in the hands of Maui's fire victims was being funneled through a charity called Entertainment Industry Foundation, or EIF. According to their own website, the CEO and president of EIF have annual salaries of $1,375. The top 10 officers pay themselves over $6 million per year, with the average salary at EIF being $117,800. Donated by Oprah and The Rock, $6 million of that goes to pay the salaries of EIF employees per year. Amidst all that, it turns out that Oprah owns a whopping 2,000 acres of land in Maui. Owning that much land in a native Hawaiian area was problematic because people believed that much land belonging to one person could lead to the natives scrambling to find a place to stay. But what was worse was that despite all her posturing as a humanitarian and activist, Oprah could not use her personal resources to provide refuge for the displaced Maui people. With that much land, the least she could have done was to open the doors to her property and allow even a few people to stay there pending the time they could get back on their feet. But no, instead, Oprah employed security guards to guard her property and keep the wildfire survivors away. That's just nasty. So Oprah and Dwayne launched a fund to provide financial assistance to victims of the Maui wildfires. And one of their promises was that the money would go directly into the pockets of the victims. Not only did the entire scheme turn out to be an ill-advised sham, but it also turned out that they were doing it to paint themselves in a good light without actually spending their own resources. Because of that, people on the internet were angry and dragged Oprah and The Rock for their shady dealings. It was so bad that even other celebrities had to call them out. Jason Momoa made a video about how it was genuinely evil for scammers to try and scam poor people off their money in the name of donations. But in typical Hollywood elite fashion, he also asked his followers not to donate to those funds, but to donate to his preferred foundations and campaigns. What is it with celebrities trying to squeeze money out of the average struggling person's pocket? Only briefly addressed the issues surrounding her Maui fund when she and Arthur C. Brooks appeared on the CBS morning show to promote their new book, Build the Life You Want, a book that is ironically about how to be happy during the interview. One of the interviewers asked about the People's Fund of Maui, giving her a chance to address the criticism and set the record straight. But she merely turned the story around and tried to play victim, claiming that she was trying to be happy in the midst of the onslaught of being terrorized and vilified online. She also called the backlash slander attacks and conspiracy theories. One person in the comments captured the general reaction of fans towards that interview by saying, Oprah did not address people's thoughts about her and The Rock, just skipped over them, called them conspiracy theories, and changed the subject. Happiness is also connecting with people. I don't think she connected here. As for The Rock, several months after people dragged him for partnering with Oprah to scam hardworking lower middle-class people of their hard-earned income, he made this video to address the situation. There was some backlash that came with launching the fund, and I want to address and acknowledge that backlash right now. And here's what I have to say about that. I get it, and I completely understand. Get what? Understand what? He then talked about how he will do better in the future and he is learning, but he is a quick study. The Rock somehow managed to get through an apology video without once saying the word sorry or I apologize or something along those lines. Fans were not happy about the video as they claimed he only posted it to clear up his image after all the backlash he received and that it was not genuine. The fact that the video came months after the backlash made it less believable and more like a PR stunt. One fan said, I believe this if it came out like the day after. Now it just looks like addressing backlash, disappointed as a Rock fan. But even more important was the fact fans believed he did not apologize at all, like he scammed people and got away with it. Ranting about the lack of an actual apology in the video, one fan posted, no apology there at all. None. I'd like to address backlash and I get it do not constitute nor are placeholders for an actual apology. If he doesn't feel he needs to apologize, that's okay. He doesn't owe anybody anything. But parading around like he's helping when it seems best case an ill-advised fund that did not do what Dwayne and Oprah said it would do, and at worst, a malicious money grab profiteering off a tragedy, he's only protecting his image. This was not an apology, so it should not be viewed as one. It also seems like a better approach for The Rock would have been to apologize and then offer to pay out of pocket for some of the support money going to the Maui fire victims. Many fans believe it would have made more sense for The Rock to donate his own money to show he was remorseful instead of posting a non-apology video. One fan on X said, what he should have said is, forget I asked for your money. Instead, I am donating 20 million or whatever number. Then I would respect. But then some people believe Dwayne's apology was sincere and that he was doing his best. One ex-user commented, I respect The Rock for doing this. Look, he worked hard to get where he is. No handouts for him. I'm not going to fault him for making his hard work pay off. He said he made a mistake. He owned up to it and has learned from it. Mistakes are learning tools and we all make them. Do you agree with this person? Is The Rock genuinely repentant or is he just trying to save face? Share your thoughts in the comments. Also, check out this next video.